Hello everybody, we're going to do a 15-minute flow into Warrior 1, 2, and 3, and it's the pose that we've been working on all week, describing the benefits, and we're going to go through a flow that's going to transition from one to the next. And my name is Nicole, by the way, for anybody who hasn't had the pleasure of meeting me yet. My name's Nicole and I'm addicted to yoga, and I hope you enjoy the flow. It's a great start to the morning. It's going to give you that energy, going to give you that strength and courage to tackle the day with fierce force. And we're going to start the session in a seated position. I've talked a little bit about your Sankalpa Shakti. I didn't go into too much detail because it's something that has to be felt rather than explained, and like I said, for anybody that doesn't know me, there's a reason that's brought you here today. It's either you're curious, you want to increase strength or relaxation into your life, and you can do either of those things in your practice, and that's how we set the practice, by setting that Sankalpa Shakti, that energy of determination, what drives you to the mat. And we're going to sit down and get in our seated position. And again, if you are not comfortable, if your knees are going above your hips, you want to have a pillow so that you can sit up, so that the knees go down, so that you're not uncomfortable. And you're just going to close your eyes. Sit with head, neck, and trunk in alignment. Let the hands lay on the knees gently. You can either place the palms up or place the palms down, whatever feels comfortable. And begin to relax at ease in your body. Begin relaxing from head to toes, toes to head. Letting any activities of the day fade in your mind. You can think about that later. Don't worry about what you have to do after this session. Remain fully present in the moment. Begin relaxing the mind by letting any thoughts, images, or emotions pass through the mind without getting involved. So simply observe the thoughts or images and let them go. Begin noticing the qualities of the breath. Are you breathing deep, shallow, fast, slow? Simply observe them. Don't try to manipulate the breath. And let's go back to that Sankalpa. What is it that you wish to bring to your practice today? Are you looking for strength? Are you looking for calm? Maybe you just want some steadiness in your life, in your practice. Whatever it is, repeat I am, or I choose, or I will, and whatever quality it is that you wish to embody today. Repeat that 3 times in your mind and then let it go, bringing the awareness back to the breath. Breathe softly, gently, smoothly, relaxing your forehead, your cheeks, your jawline, your shoulders, your hips, your knees. And resolve in your mind that you'll spend the next 15 minutes with yourself. You have nothing to do, nowhere to go, simply here and now, enjoying the moment. Nurturing the body and the mind. Opening up the eyes. Coming to the all-fours position. We're going to warm up our joints before we get into the muscles. We must exercise both equally. We want to create balance in our life, all to protect the bones. So we're going to get in the all-fours position. The hands are underneath the shoulders, the knees are in underneath the hips. You're going to inhale, push through the hands, open the chest, send the shoulders down the spine. Exhale, hinge at the hips and create an arch with your back, warming up the spine. Moving with the breath, inhaling open, exhaling, hinging. Do one more, inhale, open, exhale, hinge. We're going to come back to the neutral tabletop position. And you want to send the shoulders down the spine as much as you can so that the chest remains open, and we're going to extend that right leg straight out. Now we don't want the right leg to go up, we want the right hip to be square. So if you want to look behind, make sure the hip is not going above the left hip. We want both hips to be level. And your toes are pointing down, and on the inhale you're going to point the toes behind you. Exhale, point the toes down. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex. Moving with your own breath at your own pace. Make sure the hips remain stationary. Coming back, toes pointing down, we're going to isolate the ankle and exercise the ankle joint by letting the ankle go in circles, slow, controlled movement. And you're keeping those arms steady, both weight is evenly distributed, hips are square, core is engaged, opposite direction. Don't forget about the breath. And hold and bring it down. Maybe you want to shake out your arms. They're feeling it just from that little joint exercise. Bring the hands back, chest is open, shoulders are down the spine, tabletop position, and we extend the opposite leg. Again, look behind, make sure the hip is not floating up. We want the hips to be square, toes pointed down. Hands evenly distributed. Inhale, point. Exhale, point the toes down. Flex. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex. Keep going at your own pace. This is your body, your breath. Bring the foot back to the starting position and start rotating that ankle joint in one direction. Breathe deep. Opposite direction. Slow, controlled movements. Back to starting position. Bring the knee down. Again, if you want to shake it out, coming back to the tabletop position, again, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Now that we've warmed up our legs, our feet, our ankles, all of which we're going to use in the warrior, we're going to open up the hips. So we want to bring the left knee out to the side. We want it at hip level. Again, keep the weight evenly distributed in the hands. The chest remains forward, and we're just going to draw circles with the knee towards the right. Keep the breath flowing nice and smoothly. Opposite direction, going towards the left. Breathe deep. Bring it back. And bring it down and do on the opposite side. We always want to create balance. So bring that right leg up. Again, you can look out to the side, make sure it's not going above the hip or if it's not too low, and start going in one direction. Keep that chest open, shoulders down the spine. Breathe deep. Opposite direction. Bring the knee back and bring the knee down. Staying in that tabletop, let's do one more cat-cow. We're going to open the chest on the inhale. Exhale, hinge the hips. Come back to the square position. We're going to curl the toes under. We're going to ground through the hands, push down, especially through the thumb and the forefinger. And we're going to lift the knees up just about an inch or two off of the mat. Really feel that core getting engaged. Then we're going to exhale and bring the hips up towards the ceiling, the heels down towards the ground, and really open up those armpits, sink them down towards the ground. At the same time, your shoulders are sliding down your spine. And just walk out the feet, warm up the legs. Maybe you're feeling a little tight. We all feel differently in each pose. Honor where you're at in each of the postures. Notice what sensations occur, where you're feeling that tenseness, that tightness. You're going to look in between the hands and step your feet forward. And you're going to grab opposite elbow and just let yourself hang out in ragdoll. You just want your neck, make sure you can move your neck from side to side. And we don't want the shoulders reaching forward. We want to kind of send them back so we're not collapsing our chest. Just hang out here, breathe, feel that lower back releasing. And on the inhale, you're slowly going to come up, vertebrae by vertebrae, slowly releasing the arms. Breathing all the way up. And feel what sensations are already occurring in the body. And we're going to stand in the middle of our mat sideways, feet are about hip width apart, standing in Tadasana in our mountain pose. Our chest is open, our shoulders are back. And just notice if you're shifting to one side or the other on your feet. If you feel like you're shifting more to the left, start leaning more to the right. And just breathe and inhale the arms up. We're going to interlace the hands together and flip the palms so that it faces the sky. And on the inhale, reach up. Our knees and our hips are relaxed. We're going to exhale to the right side. Breathe deep. Neck is relaxed, shoulders relaxed. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the opposite side. Hold and breathe. Bring it back to center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, let it go. Maybe shrug out those shoulders a little bit. Opposite direction. And we're going to go right into the warrior pose. We're going to come into warrior 2 first. And it all depends on how flexible you are already. Maybe you feel it only a foot apart. You want to bring your feet 2 or 3 feet apart. It's better to start out short, so then if you don't feel as much of a stretch, you can move further, because once you've gone as far as you think you can go, then you're probably going to fall on your butt if you want to come in. So start off to whatever's comfortable. Make sure that the toes are pointing straight out in front of you. And right now, a lot of us tend to stick our butt out. We want to bring it in. We want to tilt the pelvis just a little bit so that you can feel that the tummy's engaged. We want the arms out to the side. And the chest is open, the shoulders are relaxed down the spine. We're going to bring our right knee out into a 90-degree angle. And watch that knee. We're going to bend that right knee, but you don't want the knee to come forward. We want the knee to stay nice and strong. And if anything, you want to point it closer to the pinky toe rather than the big toe so that it's right in the middle of your foot. Standing here, looking out through your right middle finger. Again, keep the shoulders relaxed down, chest is open, and breathe deep. Right now you could be feeling an opening through the groin area. You could be feeling it in your quads, in your thigh, in your calf. And you can sink a little deeper to feel that stretch even more. You want that left outer edge of the left foot to be reaching back so you feel the strength in your left leg just as much as the right leg. And breathe into warrior two. Now you can either keep your left foot where it is, and we're going to swing our body around so that it's facing that right hip, or you can bring that left foot in about 45 degrees so that you're not having as huge of an impact on the hips. We want the hips to face forward. Our arms are out. We want to bring the arms straight up. Shoulders are relaxed down the spine. The knee remains straight over that middle toe. Breathe deep in the warrior one. You're going to feel a little difference in where you're feeling the tension in the pose. Notice whether it's in your hips, whether you're feeling it more in your core. You can reach up a little bit more. You'll feel it in your shoulders. Keeping that outer edge of the left back foot nice and strong, firmly planted into the mat. Breathe deep. We're going to inhale and slowly slide that left foot. So you're not actually taking it off the ground, so we're staying steady in that right foot. And we want the hips to stay square. And I'm just going to move back just a little bit so you can see a little better. We want the hips to remain square. We're going to transition now from warrior one to warrior three. And I find keeping your hands on the hips are going to remain a little more steady in lifting that left foot off of the ground and keeping the hips square. So you're slowly bringing the left leg up. It's not about how high up the leg goes, it's about finding that steadiness, that stillness in the pose. So once you feel you've reached your capacity, which could be here, it could be here, it could be here. Wherever you're at in your practice, honor where you're at. So once we come to our standing point, we're going to extend the arms forward in warrior three. Now relax the shoulders. Make sure that right leg is nice and strong. Hips are square. And breathe softly, gently, smoothly. Slowly lower the hands down to the mat. And we're going to send that left leg as far up as you can. And then we're going to bring the left leg down and bring it to the right side of the right foot so that the pinky toes are touching. Now right now your legs could be straight, they could be bent, wherever you are at your practice. Right now you notice that the right hip is protruding a lot more than the left. So the goal here is to square up the hips. So you're wanting to send that left hip forward so that we're squaring it up and you're going to get that internal hip flexion as opposed to the external we've done with the warriors. So you're sending that left hip forward and try to eventually straighten out the legs. Right now you can be really bent. The goal is to bring the hip forward, it's not to straighten the legs. Bring that left foot around again. And we're going to inhale, put the hands on the calves, look forward halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up slowly. And notice what sensations you feel in the right leg right now. Maybe close your eyes in mountain. Notice the differences between the legs. before we move into the opposite side. So now we'll just work with the left side, bringing the left foot out into a 90-degree angle, bending that left knee. This time I'll go a little bit faster with the flow. It's all up to you. This is your practice. Arms reach out, shoulders relax down the spine, chest is open, and look through that left middle finger. Make sure that right foot, that right heel is firmly planted so that the right leg is moving as much as the left down. Bend a little deeper if you want to intensify the pose. We're going to swing the body around to face that left knee. Again, tilt that right foot in about 45 degrees angle so that you keep the hips square. It's not too much pressure. And we're going to bring the arms up, shoulders relaxed. Again, kind of move that pubis bone forward just a little bit so that your core is strong and that your spine is tall. Breathe deep. Notice where you're feeling the tension or the tightness. Come up onto that left foot. Bring the hands on the hips if that feels great. If not, you can keep the arms up. It's totally up to you. Slowly bring that leg up. Arms go forward. Breathe in the warrior 3. Hands come down. Raise that right leg. Send the right leg behind the left. Pinky toes are touching. And notice the left hip is coming more to the left side. We want to send that right hip forward so that our hips are nice and square. Breathe deep. Bring that right foot around. Inhale halfway. Exhale, come down. Slowly come up. Notice the sensations. Feel any pulsations, energy you've created. I hope that flow was nice for you. It's always nice to stop your practice by sitting down and maybe thinking about what your sankalpa was at the beginning of the session. Did you honor that? Did you push yourself a little more than what you thought you would? Or did you relax a little bit more? Just basically meditate and appreciate your body, and maybe next time that you do the session you want to do the opposite. Maybe you want to relax more if you push yourself a little bit too much. Maybe you want to push yourself if you didn't enough with the initial practice. It's yours. Own it. Enjoy.